Guys, how to place a pattern on your canvas and make it transparent. Here is the basic proportion for our mural wall, and I have this cool picture of an osprey. I'm gonna copy and paste on it, so copy that, paste. It's nice and big. Maybe make it a little bit smaller, but actually like it sort of filling the page. Okay, cool. So I really like that, but I want to incorporate this element of pattern that we're supposed to. So I found a basic pattern that seemed to match the aesthetic of the Hagopian art portfolio that we submitted. So I opened it up, I saved the image and I opened it in Photoshop. Now I have the whole thing selected and I'm just gonna copy it and then paste it here. It's really little, so I need to Command T, transform it, and make it really big. Problem is it totally covered up my image. So I could go to the trouble of erasing parts of it or putting a layer mask over part of it, which I will inevitably do, but first I think I just want to get rid of the white background. So I'm going to go up to Select, Color Range. I have highlights selected, which actually works because all of my background is white. If I didn't have highlights selected, I would choose Select Sampled Color, and then I would use this little plus sign and then go around and click areas that just had the white and maybe pull the fuzziness up until it looks like it's got everything. If I pull it up too much, I can see that the design parts start to go gray and I want them to stay all the way black. So that looks good. I press OK and then I'm going to hit delete. And now if I hit M, that's the shortcut for the marquee tool, I can click off the screen and all of the selections are now deselected. And that looks cool, but the colors don't really contrast enough to see what's going on everywhere. It sort of works in this bottom corner, but the rest of it is hard to see. So I'm just gonna change, I think, the color balance a little bit. Let's see what this does. Could make it a little bit warmer. So that's one thing I could do, but actually maybe the color's okay and I just want to change the brightness and darkness. I can do that, sort of hit three things at once here, so maybe I'll saturate it a little bit more and make it a little bit darker, or, which works for everywhere but the bottom part, or I could just bring it up and make it lighter. That's sort of neat too. I think I'll do that and then just maybe play around with the hue a little bit. Doesn't look like there's much color really there at all because it's not changing much. So I click OK, and then if I wanted to change the color, maybe I'll go to color balance a little bit and it will let me sort of shift things or tint things a little bit then. So I think I'll keep it pretty basic in the blue range. Click OK. Now I am going to go ahead and make a layer mask for this because I want to get rid of some of the pattern that's on top of the osprey. If I use the eraser tool every time I resize the bird or move it, then I have to do all of that over again and basically start from scratch. But if I add a layer mask, I can take information off and I can put it back on just as easy. So to take information off, I'm going to use my paintbrush tool and use the black. Black acts like an invisibility cloak, right? It doesn't get rid of it, it just covers it up, makes it invisible. So I have my opacity turned up now, which is great, and you can see this wing start to appear again, and it has its own pattern going on. And I think I can even make the brush bit larger and go through more area at once. I'm not going all the way to the edge with this because I want to make sure I am careful about making clean edges. This is something we're submitting and it needs to look professional, so I'm just going to go back through and clean it up a bit more. Then once I have my biggest areas done, I will bring the brush size down again, maybe zoom in and start to work on the tail. Getting rid of some of that pattern there. Feet. Fishtail. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Okay. So everyone should be using that technique somewhere in their mural project. All right, cool. Thanks.